So finally we have the 0.6 update for World War 3. That dropped this week, and what do we make of it? Well, first of all, it's been accompanied with a drop in price, so if you go over to Steam you can get it for about, I think, 30-40% off. I know it's got in pounds, it's dropped from £24 to 14, so there's that, so that's quite interesting. But how do I feel about the game? I've been playing it for the last couple of days, and these are pretty much my conclusions. So honestly, what do I think? Well, if you own the game, I say, get out there, enjoy it, play it. It's okay. If you still don't have the game, I honestly have to say, save your money. There's always going to be the next Steam sale. There's going to be Humble Bundle sales. There'll always be sales. I say, wait, because the game still isn't there yet, and this is why. First of all, when you're looking for a map, you'll notice the first thing that the actual player max on the Warzone, which is their version of Conquest, that only has a 30-player max. That's reduced, I think, from the last time I played, when it was 20v20. And as you can see, that is still a long way away from the 64-player 32 versus 32 standard that we're all used to in-game today. Also, it concerns me because it harkens back to the issues they were having at launch, so this obviously seems to be some kind of workaround to stop having those issues repeat themselves. So, could be wrong, I could be right, but it does sort of point to a possible issue that still has not been fixed. So here's hoping to them fixing that, because frankly playing 15 versus 15 doesn't seem very epic. Okay, so now let's cover a bit of old ground that I covered in my last video. The game still has great customization. It's the best game out there for customization, even though it is a little clunky about how you go about looking for certain items and how you purchase them. The user UI could do a little bit of more of a simplification, I feel. But anyway, still very well done, no major changes there. Okay, moving on to player movement. That, for me, I'm afraid, is still very jerky, very sort of clunky in its movement. I get the impression it's almost like you're a guy with two wooden legs who's using clogs to run about. Don't like it at all. I understand from other players that for them, they feel it's getting better, but I'm not seeing it myself. And I think the worst example is when you're jumping through windows. It is just so awkward when you're actually jumping over anything at all. It's not good. This game needs to take its cue from, say, something like Battlefield 4, and I keep harkening back, but it's kind of the closest like for like that we can get in this kind of arena. They need to take a cue from that. That game is smooth. Yes, I know it's from EA, I know EA are massive, but that game is, what, 6-7 years old now? When was it from? 2012? 2013? Never mind. It's an old game, and it still does the movement better than these guys are doing with new tools in 2019. As for gunplay, I'm actually finding that kind of worse. I find them using any sort of machine guns, carbines, etc. to be really skittish and jumpy. It's really hard. It reminds me a little bit of Battlefield 1 actually, the way bullets are flying everywhere. I can't seem to stabilise these guns for love nor money, and I didn't have that problem before. However, I will say one thing, sniper rifles are still lovely. Buttery smooth action, a delight to play with. So if you're a sniper, you're in for a treat. Everyone else, you're going to have to compensate. As for pistols, I've got to be honest, I don't use them. I find them to lack any real stopping power. Okay, now moving on to vehicles. Now, the vehicles, as always, seem to have the grace and manoeuvrability of a duck on ice. I don't know if it's, well, it doesn't seem to be just an issue with this game, though. I've noticed it with many other Unreal Engine 4 games. When they introduce the early iterations of any vehicle, they're just slipping and sliding everywhere. So I'm not going to be too harsh on World War 3 for that, but having said that, it's in the game and you'd like to see some improvements after the game being out for so long. So apart from the handling issues, what else is a problem? Well, I mentioned this in my last video, the fact that when you move into third person on a tank or an APC, you can't shoot anything. There's your crosshairs, there are no crosshairs, and you're just firing blind. Your turret is just, well, you're just waving it around really as some kind of ornament. It's just pointless. However, strangely enough, I think it's on the APC, if you move to your third person view as the auxiliary machine gunner, no issues, you've got your sight, you can see what you're firing, works brilliantly. Why they can't do that for the main weapons on tanks is beyond me. Now, apart from those issues, I'm still having problems as a whole with World War 3, especially when dropping into a match. I have issues with textures not loading, I have issues with clipping, I have issues with general... In fact, what I'll do, I'll just show you what I see sometimes right now. Not good, eh? Apart from this, I also just have general issues with stutter happening at the weirdest of moments. I have locked my frame rate at 60 FPS and I've got a pretty decent rig. And as a general rule, I tend not to have any issues with, let's call them, non-early access games, so make of that what you will. Overall, I find the 0.6 update to be a bit of a disappointment. Sure, we've got access to two great looking maps in the form of Smolensk being finally dressed, so to speak, and the Polani map, which again, very nice looking map. Although having said that, Unreal Engine gives great face, as they say, so that's not exactly hard, is it? Not with this game engine. The main issue is the game still doesn't run smoothly, still has a load of bugs. I'm kind of concerned for the future because I've been looking at the roadmap and I think we're going to get a maximum of 9 maps, and at the moment we're up to 5. I don't see enough game for the money. Maybe I'm being a bit harsh. Maybe I just expect more bang for my buck, especially on this journey. I'm a little surprised that so many of the issues that were addressed in my last video still haven't been sort of sorted out at all. But then again, you know, it is what it is. So finally, what is the answer to the question, should I get this game now that there's a sale? Well, honestly, and I said this on the stream all day yesterday, if you've got the game already and you've bought it, get out there and play it. You're still going to have fun. I think the correct terminology for me, the phrase I've been using the most is I've been extracting a lot of fun out of it. However, if you're somebody who hasn't got the game, I honestly have to say, hand on heart, is don't get it. And as I said at the beginning of the video, there's always going to be another sale. Wait until development is further along and you actually have a really decent, polished product. So that's been my take on the 0.6 update for World War 3. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And while you're doing that, maybe think about leaving a cheeky little like or even a sub. I'd certainly appreciate it and it helps the channel out immensely. Anyway, until next time my friends, this is HitCal, I'm signing off and I will catch you next time.